Alliance and the Space Coast.
Oh, there was a guy under your truck.
Under my truck?
An Orlando man, an innocent bystander, run over and killed in a police chase, what this newly released body cam footage reveals. We're also tracking Tropical Storm Erin, what could soon be the first hurricane of the season. Is moving closer, but still far, far away. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas shows what the latest projected path could mean for Florida. And washed out in Hurricane Milton nearly a year later, there's a plan in place to repair an important road. Why the deal's fine print has at least one county commissioner unhappy, not to mention the cost. But we start now at 10 tonight with a terminated teacher showing up to defend her job.
It's never any teacher's intent to subvert policy for political radicalization or anything of that manner. But, you know, the reality is I can't go back and change that.
So we are there as she addresses the Brevard County School Board in person. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger has the evening off. Former Satellite High School teacher Melissa Calhoun urged the board to reinstate her. News 6 community correspondent Troy Campbell spoke with Calhoun about the support she received from the crowd.
We heard from several teachers, parents, and even students all showing their support for the former Satellite High School teacher. We also spoke to Melissa Calhoun herself, who showed up to address the board. How did it feel for school to start and to not be back in the classroom with your students yesterday?
Yeah, it was definitely really hard.
Former Satellite High School teacher Melissa Calhoun says she appreciates the support from the community, who showed up to defend her job with Brevard Public Schools. What went through your mind when you saw another person get up to defend you, say that you should be still employed with the Brevard School District?
I mean, of course, again, it's very heartening and encouraging to hear and to see students utilize their voices and parents to come to this public forum.
Calhoun also got up and addressed the board herself. When you found out you would keep your teaching certificate, did you think you would be able to keep your job?
Keep my job, not necessarily. I knew that I would have to reapply somewhere, and it just so happened that the job at Satellite High School was the first one that I saw.
Brevard Public Schools says Calhoun's contract wasn't renewed after she called a student by a preferred name, not their legal name, which is against the law. She went before the state's Education Practices Commission, who cleared her to keep her teaching certificate, but did place her on a one-year probation and issued her a $750 fine.
It's never any teacher's intent to subvert policy for political radicalization or anything of that manner. But, you know, the reality is I can't go back and change that.
During public comment, people told the board Calhoun deserves her job back.
You looked us in the eye. You said you'd reconsider Ms. Calhoun's reinstatement if the state cleared her to teach. The state cleared her to teach, and now you've broken your word.
I am here tonight because I cannot stand by quietly as you take steps to keep an extraordinary educator from teaching my child, in addition to disrupting her career. She is one of the best.
And Calhoun says she's currently in arbitration with the district. And the Florida Education Association says they're still contemplating their other legal options. In Brevard County, Troy Campbell, News 6.
New at 11 tonight, a milestone launch of a next generation rocket appears to be a success.
3, we have ignition, 1, and liftoff of United Launch Alliance Vulcan rocket carrying USSF 106 for the United States Space Force.
We brought it to you live on News 6, News 6 Plus, and clickorlando.com just before 9 tonight. Clouds cleared up in time for that third ever flight of a Vulcan Centaur rocket. It was the first flight after it was certified to carry government payloads. The United Launch Alliance sent up a pair of secret satellites for the U.S. Space Force, while the second and final test flight happened last October. ULA CEO Tory Bruno says they are ready to ramp up. The company is aiming for 2 Vulcan launches a month before the end of the year. To make that possible, ULA teams plan to recover the engines from the first stage Instead of landing on a barge, the engine section will use an inflatable heat shield to make it safely back to Earth. At 201 feet tall, Vulcan is 30 feet shorter than the SpaceX Falcon 9, but it's wider, so it can carry bigger payloads. It was designed to replace the workhorse Delta IV and Atlas V rockets. You can check out the launch for yourself. Keep up with future missions at clickorlando.com/space. Now to a video just released by Orlando police. This is of a deadly pursuit here. It ended with an innocent man getting hit by both the suspect's vehicle and the police officer's pickup truck. What you're about to hear is Detective Christopher Moulton learning 20 minutes after the fact that someone was hit, someone was under his truck. Here's Orlando community correspondent Mike Valenti.
He's wanted me back at the car, asked him, can you wait, I'm with K9 Track, and he said, no, I want you at the car now, please. Yeah, I don't have my phone on me, so.
This is the end of the 20-minute body camera footage from that night in February. Rewind 20 minutes, and we start with perhaps the most pertinent part. Detective Christopher Moulton driving. There's no audio, but it's apparent he's in the midst of a chase. Florida Highway Patrol says it was during Dornell Bargnair's attempt to get away from Moulton that Bargnair hit 56-year-old Gerald Neal. And FHP says so did Moulton in his Ford F-150.
815 bailout, Rio Grande, Indiana. They just left him there under the truck like a piece of meat, like he meant nothing. Wow. Like he meant absolutely nothing. And we still don't have any answers.
An initial FHP report says that after Moulton's front tire collided with Neal, Moulton gets out of his truck and runs after Bargnair. 20 minutes later, while still searching for Bargnair, an officer tells Moulton he's needed back at his truck.
Oh, there was a guy under your truck.
Under my truck?
Yeah. All right, he's coming.
Hiding? Okay, yeah, I'll go check right now. Unless he doubled back.
I don't know if it's a or a.
No, definitely not.
That was News 6's Mike Valenti. Detective Moulton is still on administrative leave, has not been charged with anything. Meanwhile, Bargnair's charges have since been upgraded to vehicular homicide. And while it's nothing to be frightened of right now, we know many of you keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Erin tonight. Some models on the internet are making people nervous. Again, internet models, so we want to give you the real facts. The latest track on Erin was just released. I want to get you over to meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, who is also still pinpointing some lingering rain too, Jonathan.
Yeah, you know, it's the models do their thing. It's the people behind those models or that are showing those models that are just trying to ramp up the anxiety this evening. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Erin. Everything working as expected so far. It's a weak system. It will likely stay weak, although because it's nightfall now, we're firing off some thunderstorms. We're increasing the instability. That's typically what happens with these things as they move across the warm waters of the ocean. Latest track, and we're going to get another one fresh off 11, so stick with us and we'll show you the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center just at 11 o'clock. And you see it is still expected to work its way close to the Caribbean islands in the Northeast Caribbean, and then you see the cone starting to bend. Now remember, the center of the storm can be anywhere within this cone. A further south storm will certainly get it closer to the Turks and Caicos, potentially the Bahamas, and certainly you don't want to see a cone with the number 3 out here, even close to Florida. However, all indications from any single model suite that we have are that this is going to turn and leave Florida alone. Again, it could get close, but I don't think it impacts us directly. Maybe some swells, rip currents, things like that. It's something that we are certainly keeping a close eye on, though, as we get more data. Hurricane Hunter is likely going to get up here in the storm. As we get towards the weekend, it gets closer because they obviously need to refuel, so they can't get out there just yet. It's too far away. But once we get that data, that's going to shed some light on a lot of things. A couple of downpours for us tonight, hanging around Marion County, Ocala. Good evening. We have a couple of downpours just to the north of Denellen. I think tomorrow we could have a few storms linger a little bit later, more intense storms right in the center of the peninsula. We're going to talk much more about that. I'll break down the high-resolution future radar for you coming up at about 10:19.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, nearly 1 year after being washed out during Hurricane Milton, a deal is in place to repair washed out Britt Road. Today, Lake County commissioners approved spending more than $500,000 to get land needed to make it happen. A deal that comes with a few strings attached. As our Lake County community correspondent Emily McLeod explains, that's why not every commissioner is on board with this plan.
It's been a lengthy and complicated negotiation process between Lake County commissioners and the owner of the land needed to fix Britt Road. Britt Road has been shut down for almost a year after it was washed out during Hurricane Milton. Commissioners were able to seal the deal at Tuesday's commission meeting, but not without a hefty price tag. County commissioners have agreed to pay $675,000 for 2 acres of land needed to fix Britt Road.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Absolutely not.
According to county documents, the land was initially valued at $371,000. So I asked Commissioner Leslie Campione how she felt about paying almost double.
Knowing that residents were having to spend extra money and extra time in order to use these other roads, I felt like that justified the additional purchase price because we needed to do it for the convenience and the safety of our residents.
The washout has been an inconvenience. Back in June, I spoke to Barbara Deeney, one of many forced to go around the damaged road.
It's a lot longer to go down to 437 and backtrack. It's unbelievable.
But not all commissioners are on board. Commissioner Kirby Smith is concerned about a clause allowing 12 additional housing units on the property.
Just so everybody knows that I am certainly not for this. It was appraised for $351,000. He wants $675,000. But that's not all.
Campione understands Smith's concerns, but says they should not kill the deal.
It's not like turning it into a high-density project. As a result of this, he would just be entitled to 12 additional units at some time in the future if that property ever does get developed adjacent to this land.
The commission voted 4-1 to approve the deal. Campione says right now the land itself is not under any sort of contract with the developer. As far as eminent domain goes, Campione says had the county taken that route, it would have ended up costing them even more than what they're paying now. Campione says the next steps in the project include engineering and permitting. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod, News 6.
New at 10 tonight, a fiery debate over firefighter pay in one corner of Volusia County. New Smyrna Beach firefighters rallied for higher pay ahead of tonight's city commission meeting. And during the meeting, commissioners heard from both firefighters and those who support them. Right now, they get paid about $15 an hour. You can make that much at Walmart, Target, or Publix. The union says it's one of the lowest fire salaries in the state.
Professionals in life-saving roles should not have to work 2 to 3 jobs to simply survive.
This isn't about asking for more than what's reasonable. This is about asking for what's right.
How many more people will we lose? And how many will we struggle to hire back? And ultimately, we want the best of the best to work for New Smyrna Beach because we want what's best for our citizens.
The fire union is asking for at least $18 an hour for starting pay. After tonight's public comment, the city manager told commissioners negotiations, which started in December, are still ongoing. They have a month and a half under the current fire contract to negotiate. We've seen a number of local cities discuss fire pay and fire fees lately. It includes Kissimmee, Ocoee, Mount Dora, and Brevard County. Just last night, Sanford city leaders heard an earful ahead of a vote on adding a fire fee next month. For that debate, you can head to clickorlando.com. As the first week of school nears a midpoint, one county school district is going high-tech to keep kids safe on buses. Ahead on News 6, what they're trying to use to avoid school bus crashes caused by blind spots and how much it will cost per bus to pull it off. First, though, you may have seen this video on your YouTube feed, a motorcyclist weaving through traffic on I-4 at times, hitting 150. Next, why investigators are not seeking to file charges. You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Tuesday night, covering Deltona, Flagler Beach, and all of Central Florida. Now on News 6, motorcyclists appearing to speed through Central Florida, all posted to a YouTube channel. We first started investigating this weeks ago. In other states, authorities have arrested drivers for participating in similar social media videos. But News 6 has learned FHP is not seeking criminal charges in this case. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest explains why.
This YouTube video, titled Orlando to Daytona in 20 Minutes, appears to show a motorcycle weaving through traffic on I-4 at high speeds. It's among dozens of videos posted on this YouTube channel that were recently reviewed by the Florida Highway Patrol. Although the motorcycle speedometer reads more than 150 miles per hour, News 6 cannot confirm exactly how fast the bike was going. And we cannot confirm who was operating it since his face is obscured. What's up, YouTube? This man, Dallas Ashley, appeared in several other videos that were posted on the same YouTube channel called Speed Demon 407. Ashley happens to be the grandson of NASCAR CEO Jim France and the great-grandson of NASCAR's founder, Bill France Sr. Some of the YouTube videos feature the Daytona International Speedway.
Watch out! Here comes a menace!
But Ashley insists he is not the man riding these motorcycles. You can't prove who was riding, Ashley tells News 6. It appears the Florida Highway Patrol agrees. I've obtained these internal FHP emails. They reveal that FHP Sergeant George Diaz reviewed the videos and determined there was no way to positively identify the operator of the motorcycle. Another FHP investigator noted there are difficulties in determining that an individual is the actual person in the video at the time of the offense when they are not showing their face under the guise of a full-face helmet.
Let this serve as an example.
But just months ago, police in Charleston, South Carolina arrested this man, Raymond Ortiz, for allegedly riding his motorcycle dangerously and then posting videos of it on Instagram. After Charleston police identified Ortiz as a possible suspect, records show that agency executed a lawful search warrant on his apartment and seized multiple items, including a BMW motorcycle, a black hooded sweatshirt, and a Joker-themed helmet. Charleston police also seized a GoPro 360-degree camera that is equipped with integrated GPS, which investigators say confirm the motorcycle's location and speed. Ortiz says he's innocent.
I do apologize for any trouble I have caused.
I ain't going to jail today, mother.
As for Speed Demon 407, in this clip you can see a cell phone on the motorcycle's console.
I'm Officer Thacker, Longwood Police.
Hello, I'm Dallas Ashley.
This video, captured by police during a traffic stop, shows Ashley wearing a helmet with a GoPro camera attached. But there is no indication from records that FHP tried to get search warrants for those electronic devices.
So that was Mike DeForest. The Florida Highway Patrol has not responded to any of our questions about that Speed Demon 407 YouTube channel. In Osceola County, the school district is trying to avoid school bus crashes caused by blind spots. They're pairing up with a Korean company, Smart Radar Systems, that use sensors to detect blind spots for buses. It also scans the inside of the bus to make sure students are not left behind after the bus shuts down. Parents say the new measures are very important with that new school year now underway.
It's real important because sometimes some of the kids, you know, they play around, they run around the bus, they go the wrong way, and you cannot see them. So it's important. It is.
The system's estimated to cost about $5 grand per bus. The district's director of transportation says not all buses will be able to be equipped at once, but they're hoping to have at least one by winter break. We are a long ways from winter break, that's for sure. It has been hot. It's going to continue to be hot. And the storms were out this evening, Jonathan.
Yeah, they are. I think we'll see a few more tomorrow, even a little more widespread tomorrow afternoon. Right now, we just have a stray little sprinkle hanging around Ocala. This is drifting back off towards the north. More thunderstorms around Lakeland right now, just to the west of Tampa. You can track those storms and get the latest forecast from the free News 6 weather app, by the way. It's all free. Just download that to get free lightning detection. That's one of the best parts about the app. You can also track the tropics with that. We'll get into the latest on Aaron in a second. Future radar, though, picking up on that light shower, doing a nice job tonight showing that. As we go through the course of the overnight, May see a little flare up closer to Lakeland tonight. Otherwise, most of us are going to be quiet. Now, getting into tomorrow, we're going to start things off nice and quiet. Lots of sunshine today, very similar to today. There's 2 o'clock with a few stray thunderstorms in the mix. As we get to 5 to 6 o'clock, we'll be watching for a few more storms to erupt. And a few of these could get a little rowdy closer to the I-4 corridor tomorrow before things settle on back down. Here's a live look in Daytona Beach. Right now, all is quiet. Temperatures back to the lower 80s. The breeze right now out of the east at about 3 miles an hour. We're going to keep skies mainly clear, at least along the coast right now. We're at 77 in Wildwood, Leesburg. Good evening. We are at 80. Kissimmee's checking in at 85 degrees. Titusville, we are back to 88. Good evening in Melbourne and Mico. We are both at 85 degrees at this hour. Now tomorrow, rain chances back to 60%. I think they're going to focus more on the interior. We'll pop up a few along each coast, and then those go from west and then also coming in from the east and then converging on the I-4 corridor. Groveland, we're at 95. Leesburg, we are at 94 tomorrow. Latest on Aaron, tropical storm tonight, trying to fire out some thunderstorms. This is typical once we get to the evening hours as we get a little more instability naturally from the sun going down to the water staying warm. The breeze, sustained winds at about 45 miles an hour. Pressure still very high at 1,006. Booking tonight west at 22 miles an hour. Very, very fast for a tropical system, and it's really hard to organize as well when it's going that fast. Latest track again, and we're going to get a new one fresh in about 20-ish, 30-ish minutes. The Hurricane Center sometimes will get them out as early as about 10:40 or 20 minutes before 11 o'clock. There's a Category 3 hurricane likely north of Puerto Rico. Still expecting that bend, but obviously keeping our eye on it, watching it closely. 94 degrees tomorrow, 60% shot for showers and thunderstorms, especially through the I-4 corridor tomorrow afternoon and evening. Rain chances at 50% on Thursday, 40% on Friday, and then we're keeping things right at 60% through the weekend and into next work week. Or high temperatures, Matt, staying into the mid-90s.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Well, it's the end of an era for a long-time Orlando attraction. The Dr. Phillips Cinedome screened its last film before a cutting-edge makeover. Next at 10, how Orlando Science Center plans to dazzle generations with a brand new technology and a brighter planetarium.
This has been the source of many happy memories for me, and it has been kind of a touchstone for the community. It's just a special place. What you experience, you almost can't experience this anyplace else.
Since 1997, the Dr. Phillips Cinedome at the Orlando Science Center has brought stories to life on a giant titled screen, transporting nearly 4 million visitors around the world. But early Tuesday afternoon, the iWorks projection system was used for the last time. And it's a bittersweet moment for Amy Quinsbury, who was there for opening day all those years ago.
You know, as somebody that was here as a volunteer and fell in love with the theater, you know, it's really nice to be able to be here and to be able to thread the last show.
This is one of the last film projectors of its kind, and it will be heading to a different museum where its legacy will live on. The dome stands at nearly 80 feet tall, and if you were to stretch it out, it would be the size of an 8-story building. But the size of the dome is what transports those viewers to places they would never think to go.
You know, some are lucky they get to travel to places, and then some get to travel, you know, through other people's journeys that they took, and it brings it to life and home for them as if they were there.
I heard the little girl behind me talking to her mom about the film, and that's why we do what we do. Kids love it, they're educated, and these films really do stand the test of time. Yes, it's been 30 years, but still, you learn something new every single time you see it.
I'll tell you how it feels. It feels like graduating high school or graduating college. You know, you're saying goodbye to one chapter of your life, but you're very excited for the next chapter.
The last show ended at 2:45, but soon Orlando's dome will light up with stories for a whole new generation. Thanks to a $1 million donation from Dr. Philip Charities, it will make way for a new 8K version of projection with plans of opening in spring of 2026. In Orlando, Jana Manahalal, News 6.
All right, temperatures back to the mid-90s, 60% shot for thunderstorms on Wednesday. Tomorrow, 50% chance for storms as we get into Thursday. And then we'll keep that rain chance right into the weekend. Your typical afternoon thunderstorms, high temperature is going to get back into the mid-90s. Stay a little toasty for the rest of August.
Yes, we are. You can find all tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. Have a great night.